What's up everyone, it's Christina with Redo the Work, and today I'm busting the fitness myth that fitness has to be intense. Have you ever been disappointed after a workout because you didn't sweat a lot or because you weren't sore for the next couple days? Now there's two different kinds of ways you can experience this disappointment. You can think that the workout wasn't good enough or that you didn't do it good enough. Have you ever been either of these people? And what do we even mean by good enough anyway? What makes a workout good enough? The common misconception is that in order for exercise to be worth it or good enough, that means we need to be sweating hard, struggling through it, and to feel super sore for the next few days. But is that even true? Does fitness have to be intense in order for it to count as good enough? That's a great question. Stick around, we're about to get into it. Today I'm talking about intensity because I know there are a lot of you out there thinking the more intense, the better, and that's not necessarily true. Now, in order to improve over time, yes, you do need to increase the intensity of your workouts, but slowly and incrementally is better than pushing your body to the extremes because we know that that's not sustainable. But I think you know what I mean when we say intense, right? Just look at the language we use around fitness. And of course we use these terms as oxymorons, meaning we mean the opposite of what we actually say. Just like when someone says, "Way to go, bro, that was pretty sick." You see that girl over there, man? She's bad. How about that workout this morning? It was pure torture. Woo! Or when people come up to me, the fitness instructor, after class and say things like, "I did not like you for that last half hour. Yeah, I was cussing at you in my head through the whole workout. If my body hurts tomorrow, I'm blaming you." Don't get me wrong, I totally get it. You think it's cute and funny, and it is cute and funny because that's what we say. It's part of the fitness culture. But let's pick that apart. Why do we use negative language? Why do we glorify the pain? Of course there's an element of pain and discomfort to fitness, no doubt. I mean, your muscles are literally tearing themselves apart in order to grow. But it is not true that the more pain you're in, the better it's working. Now, you know, if you've ever gone too hard, like I have, the actual feeling of painful soreness when it's almost impossible to get up out of your seat or to get out of bed or to lift your arms above your head, that is not good. That's an indication that you went too hard. And of course, that's okay. Take it for what it is without any judgment. Just log it away as a data point, get through your recovery, and dial it back next time. But I can remember back in those days when I had an unhealthy relationship with myself and my body. I loved being in that pain. I was like, hell yeah, this hurts. That must mean I'm doing it right. I would also feel that same sense of pride on an empty stomach when I was starving myself. Or when I would try a new cheapo acne cream and when I put it on my skin, it would burn. I'd be like, yeah, that's how I know it's working. Now listen, I know that you know that one workout isn't gonna change our life. That skipping one meal isn't gonna change our life, right? We all know that our overall life is a direct result of our chosen habits and our overall lifestyle. It happens over time. But even though we seem to know and understand that, sometimes the pain just feels better for some reason. That's how we know it's working, right? Do you wanna know what this is called? Self-punishment. Punishment is what we get when we mess up or we fail in some way. It's supposed to correct our behavior and make us better. It shows us that there are consequences for our actions. Now, before you go getting all defensive on me, let me say this. Issuing a form of self-punishment is not your fault. We've all had experiences with punishment, and unfortunately, some of our parents and our teachers, but especially the entire fitness industry, has used shame to get us to do what they want us to do. So again, everything that you're doing is valid. It's not your fault. Please be kind and open-minded as you listen to the rest of this stuff. Just look at the common ads you see for fitness. Most of them revolve around weight loss. And they say things like, shed those holiday pounds or get your dream summer body. I don't have to repeat them all because I know you've seen them and I know that you know that they're awful. That's what the fitness industry has done to manipulate us into buying their products. They tell us that the way we live our life is wrong, the way we look is wrong and unacceptable, and that we've failed at life somehow. And the only way to make lasting change is to starve ourselves and to feel the burn and to repent for all the mistakes that we've made. And if we don't like the punishment, then there's something even more wrong with us, because we look around at the people in the fitness industry and they seem to be loving the punishment. The way they talk about it, the way they restrict themselves. No pain, no gain. Remember that one? So let me ask you this. What would be the purpose of wanting to exercise in the first place? To live a better life? To be healthy? To be happy? Now, how could you expect any of those things to come true if you're using your own shame as a tool to control your behavior? That doesn't seem better and healthy and happy to me. That seems dark and restrictive and depressing. But this punishment as a solution way of thinking is rooted in our culture and our upbringing. Punishment is a thing that we do to ourselves because subconsciously we think it's going to get rid of our feelings of guilt. Guilt is an emotion, it's a feeling, which means it has a message for us. And usually, not always, but usually guilt is sending us the message that we've crossed our own boundary somewhere, that we have done something outwardly that we don't agree with inwardly. And if you feel really bad about it, that must mean you're a good person. And if you spend a lot of time feeling really bad about it, then that must mean you're even. Think about it. Our parents would do it. Go to your room and think about what you've done. Our teachers did it. That'll be another detention for you, young man. Law enforcement does it. And all of those forms of punishment have one thing in common: isolation. So we learn at an early age that in order to atone for our wrongdoings, that we need to sit and stew in our shame all by ourselves for a predetermined period of time, and then we're somehow better for it because the experience sucked so bad that we'll do whatever it takes to avoid it. And so we'll avoid misbehaving. But take a look around. That doesn't seem to be working, does it? I mean, where's the discussion? Where's the rehabilitation? So here's what we're learning. When I do something bad, I need to feel bad about it in order to feel good again, and I gotta do my time so that all can be well. So when it comes down to our own deepest personal suffering, not something we've done to someone else, like misbehave or steal from the store, but something that we've done to hurt ourselves, like, oh God, I haven't been eating healthy, or I really let myself go during the winter, or I went to the doctor and they told me that I'm dealing with these health issues now, so I really got to take care of myself. It gets really tricky because there's nobody on the outside issuing the punishment for us. And so subconsciously it might be especially tempting to punish ourselves. Because that's how you know you're a good person. When you do a bad thing, you feel bad about it. Bad, bad, bad. You're bad. So if I take on these bad feelings and I feel really bad about it, then I'll feel good again, right? And in some really strange, backwards way, it can feel empowering to starve yourself and to feel that empty pit in your stomach. It can feel really good to go so hard in the gym that you can't move your body for the next 5 days. And the worst part of it all is that it works. At least in the short term, it works. Of course, if you starve yourself, you're gonna lose weight. Of course, if you go to the gym 7 days a week, you'll see changes in your body. But that's because you're going to the extreme, and so your body is going to react in extreme ways. And of course, we all know this isn't sustainable. This is why diets fail. This is why 30-day workout challenges fail. They work for a little bit at first, and then they fail because punishment is only supposed to last for a short amount of time, because we go into it thinking that if we feel bad, we're gonna then feel good. Or you start to like the punishment because that means you're in control. And you can develop a self-righteous ego about it and start to think that you're better than other people because you work really hard for what you have, and you sacrifice and you endure all this pain to get what you have, and you're willing to do what other people aren't. Do you see where I'm going here? This is the same shame cycle brought on by dieting, eating disorders, self-harm, drug and alcohol abuse, even overstudying and perfectionism, and so many more other things. Whether you're on the end of the spectrum that makes you feel bad, or the other end of the spectrum that makes you feel good because you feel bad, it's not a good place to be. There's a better path. What could be so bad about making changes in your life and being happy about it? What could be so bad about having gratitude and celebrating your body for all the amazing things it can do? Yes, even if you haven't been making the healthiest choices, your body is still functioning, and that's incredible. If you put soda into the gas tank of a car, it wouldn't run because cars don't run on soda, they run on gasoline. But we put suboptimal fuel into our bodies all the time, all day long, and our bodies function anyway. And that's because we aren't machines. We are multifaceted spiritual beings living in human bodies, and we can choose to hate that about the human experience or love it. So now that we know all that, what's a realistic intensity to strive for during a workout? Well, if you're new to exercise, intensity is the last thing you should be thinking about. Instead, you can focus on building the habit and then building upon the habit. And when you first get started, it's not about intensity. It's actually more about just incorporating it into your lifestyle. So the easier, the better. Something sustainable. And consistency is really the key. Once you establish a routine, then you can aim for an intensity that feels somewhat challenging and slightly uncomfortable. And that's all. I can go into depth about that stuff in another video, but for today, all I want you to walk away with is this. Associating your behaviors with positive emotions builds a better foundation for lasting change and overall happiness. Is there some inner dialogue going on in your head that would suggest that you're punishing yourself with exercise or motivating yourself with shame? If so, be sure to hit the subscribe button because I'll be talking a lot more about stuff like this in future videos. And if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below, say hello to me, introduce yourself, let me know what resonated with you in today's video, and I'll say goodbye for now. I'll see you next time.